As for world history, we're still talking about the French Revolution, and this is the new constitution that they write after the revolution is kind of over. So on July 14th, 1789, an angry Parisian mob, hungry from the lack of food and due to a poor harvest, decided to take law into their own hands. They rioted and attacked the royal fortress prison, the Bastille. The mob saw the prison as a symbol for everything wrong with France at the time. To them, it meant representation of King Louis XVI and his government. They sought out and destroyed it and killed the prison governor, Marquis de Launay. In the process, soldiers in and around Paris refused to stop the attack, indicating King Louis XVI has lost control of his army. On August 4th, 1789, the Declaration of the Rights of Man was passed by the Assembly. This law abolished all feudal privileges and unjust taxation, eliminated church tithes, feudal dues, and private companies keeping part of taxation. It was issued between August 12th and the 26th of 1789. Here's an excerpt from the Declaration. Men are born free and equal, and remain free and equal in rights, which are liberty, property, security, and resistance to oppression. Liberty is being able to do whatever does not harm others. The law should express the will of the people. All citizens have a right to take part in personally or through their representatives in making of the law. Every citizen can talk, write, and publish freely, useless unless the liberty is abused in a way that breaks the law. There was nothing in the Declaration of Rights of Man about women's rights or the position of slaves in France and the French Empire. They did not make note of who would impose new laws. By September 1789, the Assembly, with King Louis XVI's approval, appointed new middle-class officials, elected by the people to take control of the local government. They were called intendants. The National Assembly presented their new reforms in the Declaration of Rights of Man to Louis XVI. He refused to acknowledge them, angering many in France who were anxious for more freedom and equality. Due to pressure and a mob surrounding his home, King Louis moved to Paris in an effort to show his support for the National Assembly. King Louis XVI eventually passed new reforms, so the National Assembly began the process of creating a new constitution. Over the next 2 years, the members of the three estates in the Assembly worked to hammer out the new constitution for France. It outlined their new government. One part of this was the Assembly. Members were to elect every 2 years by men who paid a certain level of taxes. About two-thirds of the male population gained the right to vote, known as active citizens. Under the new constitution, they would still have a monarch, but the king would be called King of French, not King of France. He could delay any passing of law for 3 years. The new constitution ended absolute monarchy. It established a constitutional limited monarchy. National Assembly French legislature oversaw actions of the monarch. Active citizens had the right to vote. Excuse me. Clergy must be elected. Catholic Church under French control, not under Vatican and Rome. 88 new departments were created to become centers for local government. Judges, deputies, tax collectors, and priests were to be elected by active citizens. A new taxation system based on income and new currency, the assignat, was created. Church lands were nationalized or became part of France. Income from their sale paid off the government debt. This angered the Pope, and he did not support the French Revolution. The church tax, or a tithe, was abolished. Marriages, which had previously only taken place in church, had to be celebrated as civil ceremonies in front of state officials, and divorce was introduced. Priests were required to take an oath of loyalty to the state. Some saw this as an attack of the power of the bishops and the Pope. Okay, so there are 2 pages, just like yesterday, a matching and a multiple choice. Please do those. Make sure you also use the attendance sheet. Please realize that if you don't do work and you don't fill out the attendance sheet, you are going to be marked absent. If you come and do the attendance sheet but not your work, you're marked present. If you come do your work and not the attendance sheet, then you're marked present. But you have to do one or the other every day, every single day, in order to get credit for being in school or in class. All right, please make sure you're doing that. Even if you don't do work, come in and check in and fill out the survey for the attendance. Okay. That being said, we'll see you tomorrow.